One Piece currently has quite a bit more than 1,000 episodes, and obviously with this number of episodes in the series that it is going to have at least 1,000 curiosities. So that's why today I bring you 1,000 curiosities of One Piece. I have gone through saga by saga, collecting the most interesting curiosities from each one, organizing them and putting them in chronological order so you have them all one by one. So as I say, there are a total of 1,000 curiosities and a video that is going to be very, very long. So as always, I want you to leave in the comments if you are playing this video in the background for something what you are doing, because you know I love reading your comments and I'm always checking what you write, and each time you write more different and interesting things. I like that people share this. To say, as always, that this kind of video takes a lot of work, so I would really appreciate a big like and for you to subscribe to the channel to see more videos. Now I'll be quiet and let you go directly to the 1,000 curiosities of One Piece. Let's go with the first curiosity, which is the inspiration for One Piece, and it's that the Viking series, Vicky the Viking, was the inspiration for Eiichiro Oda to create One Piece, despite the fact that, as I say, some are Vikings and the others are pirates. Second curiosity is that it has had Dragon Ball as an influence. Luffy's personality is based on Goku's, and Oda is a huge fan of Akira Toriyama, may he rest in peace. The third curiosity is about Oda's personal life. Oda married the model Chiaki Inaba, who, take note, cosplayed as Nami at the Jump Festa in 2002. Imagine creating a waifu for your story that you love, that she is your favorite waifu, and on top of that, meeting your wife dressed as that character. This man has truly lived life to the fullest. Curiosity number 4 is about Oda's wealth, as he is the richest manga artist in history, with a net worth of $200 million. It's worth noting that this figure is quite outdated, and now surely, well, he has $300 or $400 million, but I really doubt that anyone has surpassed him. The fifth curiosity is that One Piece was supposed to last 5 years. At first he planned for the series to end in 5 years, which is very curious because, as you know, every 2 years they ask Oda how much longer One Piece will last, and he says 5 years. I no longer know if this was real at first and then turned into a meme, or if it was always a meme and we believed it from the start. The sixth is a previous manga by Oda, and it's that at 17 years old, Oda created a cowboy-themed manga called One Piece. The seventh is the Guinness World Record, and it's that One Piece holds the Guinness World Record for the most copies published of the same comic series by a single author. And in fact, this is going to keep surpassing itself more and more. It's going to keep jumping over many things, and we'll see to what extent One Piece perhaps becomes the best-selling work in history, surely behind the Bible. The eighth curiosity is the death threats, and in 2007, Oda decided death threats from the wife of a dismissed assistant. We are all crazy out of our minds. I mean, Oda can't even be at peace for firing an assistant. Ninth curiosity, and it's the collaboration of Dragon Ball and One Piece, and many people don't know this, but there is a manga called Cross Epic, where the universes of Dragon Ball and One Piece come together. A manga that to some of you might sound like an animated version? No, I'm talking about manga. The 10th is Pandaman, and he is a recurring character in the manga and anime who appears very subtly as an homage to the book series Where's Wally? Well, I think in Latin America it's called Where's Waldo? Well, you know, that guy goes around with the red and white shirt. Number 11 is Luffy's information, and it's that Luffy is 17 years old. At least in pre-time skip within East Blue, he is 172 centimeters tall, and his birthday is May 5th, which is precisely Children's Day in Japan, which, well, matches a lot with the theme of that we later saw of imagination, smiles, and personality. A little bit about Luffy. The 12th is Luffy's representative color, which is color red. Number 13 is Luffy's favorite food, which, in case someone hasn't realized after more than 1,000 episodes, is meat indeed. Number 14 is that Luffy's representative animal is the monkey, not for nothing with Monkey D. Luffy, be careful. Now that it comes down to it, Oda said Luffy would be Brazilian. Oda no. Oda no. Number 15 is that Luffy can stretch his entire body. He, including his... I'm not gonna say it just in case, but Oda has confirmed that it will not be seen in the series. Well, let's see. In Amazon Leap, I remember there was a bit of a stretch there. I don't know, well, maybe it wasn't, well, never mind. Number 16, and it is Luffy's reason for not killing his enemies. Oda explained that for Luffy, destroying an enemy's dreams is more painful than death. Let's see, this seems like a good, quote, excuse not to kill characters. You know that Oda doesn't like killing characters, so he said, well, then Luffy destroys their dreams, but doesn't kill them. Is it justified? Yes. Is it noticeable that he did it on purpose to avoid having to kill off characters? Also a genius. Number 17 is Oda's treasure, and it's that they asked Oda what his greatest treasure was, and Oda said that the greatest treasure was the readers themselves. Obviously, I think, well, your wife, your children, the train you have at home. Those things seem to me perhaps more important than us, really. But I love you a lot, Oda. I love you a lot. Number 18, the interior of the Going Merry. Oda drew the interior of the ship to explain how it works. In fact, if I find it, I'll put an image on the screen for you to see, but well, it's interesting that he even drew the entire inside of the ship. Number 19, the smartest character in the East Blue Saga, and it is Ben Beckman, followed by Captain Kuro. I must say, this has led to a lot of confusion because many people think that Ben Beckman was the smartest character in the entire series, even more so than Vegapunk, because Oda, when he explained this, said he was the smartest character in the series. Obviously, he meant up to that point, not until now, so the smartest is probably, I don't know, Vegapunk, Luffy, Gaimon, you know, great minds of the One Piece world. Number 20 is Buggy's story, and in the original design, Buggy had hair of a bluer, bright, that it contrasted a lot with the theme of his red nose. Number 21 is the design of Captain Morgan, and that is, attention, originally he resembled an adult version of Helmeppo. It's funny. Now, Captain Morgan's design is quite cool. Number 22 is basically Zoro, and his representative color is green, and his favorite food is white rice. You see, with these things, there are really more than 50, right? But this way I square it off, and it looks very nice. Number 23, Zoro's age is that he is 19 years old in the East Blue Saga. He is 178 centimeters tall, and his birthday is the 11th of November, the 11th of the 11th. Number 24 is the first sketch that existed of One Piece. And in this first sketch, in this first story that was made of One Piece, Nami had blue hair, and Garp, Luffy's grandfather, motivated him to become a pirate. In fact, he gives him the Gomu Gomu. Be careful with that. Number 25, Pandaman was created for a contest, and it was designed by Oda for a wrestling character contest. I think Pandaman would win it, honestly. Number 26, Gomu Gomu no Mi. In the manga, Luffy shows Shanks that he can stretch his arm, but in the anime, he stretches his neck, showing a bit of the difference in the representation of the anime adaptation from the manga. In my opinion, the first chapter of the One Piece manga is far superior to the anime. Number 27, number of enemies defeated by Luffy in the East Blue. Luffy defeats a total of 12 pirates during the East Blue Saga. Number 28, Luffy's initial bounty, and it was 30 million berries after defeating to Arlong. Number 29, Oda and dark humor. Initially, Oda wanted to make Captain Morgan a comedian with mental issues. It would have been incredible. I mean, more than just having an axe hand and all. If he had been a comedian with mental issues, it would have been historic. Number 30, censorship in Western anime. The 4Kids version of One Piece censored much of the violence and bloody situations. In fact, I think if I'm not mistaken, that in Latin America it came out like this, right? In Latin America, the 4Kids version originally came out many years ago, and for this reason it didn't quite catch on, let's say, within Latin American society. Naturally, with that anime, I wouldn't have paid much attention either. Number 31, a curiosity about Nami, and it's that the name Nami in Japanese means wave. But wave of the sea, not wave as in, hello, how are you? Number 32, Nami's representative color is orange. Number 33, Nami's representative animal, obviously, the cat, for something the cat burglar. Number 34, facts about Nami. Nami is 18 years old before the time skip. Now she is 20, she's 1.69 meters tall, and her birthday is on the 3rd of July. Number 35, Nami's measurements. She has 86 bust, 57 waist, and 86 hips. This before the Tamazki. Now let's say it was a little more generous with everything, say, I didn't have breakfast. Number 36, Sanji is left-handed. Although the series doesn't seem like it, Oda confirms that Sanji was left-handed. Left-handed meaning he uses his left arm, right? Left-handed of number 37. Sanji's representative animal is the duck. Quack, quack. Number 38, Sanji's color is yellow. If you have any doubt, I say. Number 39, nationalities of the Straw Hats. Oda said that if they existed in the real world, Luffy would be Brazilian, Zoro would be Japanese, Nami Swedish, and Sanji French. Number 40, Sanji Naruto. And I think many people know this, but some maybe don't. The original name of Sanji was going to be Naruto, but it was changed to avoid confusion with the Naruto manga, which at that time was just starting to come out or rise in popularity. Number 41, Sanji's inspiration. And it's based on the character of Mr. Pink from Reservoir Dogs. I haven't seen it, they say it's an amazing movie, but I haven't watched it. I'm not really into movies, to be honest. Number 42, Sanji's favorite food, and it's pasta with seafood. Very tasty too, a bit, right? Number 43, curiosity about Usopp. Usopp smells like gunpowder, and the animal that represents him is an armadillo. It is curious, this thing about the smell of gunpowder, and especially about the armadillo, which, as you know, is an animal that, well, when it feels danger, it curls up into a ball and hides. Very Usopp. Number 44, Usopp's name. If you remove the last two letters, it results in Uzo, which means lie in Japanese. Even Usopp's name lies to us. Number 45, original design of Nami, and she was going to have robotic parts and use an axe as a weapon. Very different, Nami's design from before and now. I don't know if his wife would have done cosplay if this person had done it. Number 46, trivia about the Apis arc. This was the first filler in the history of One Piece, and later they have done quite a few. Number 47, chapter not adapted from the manga. The meeting between Luffy and Kobe is different in the manga and the anime, once again making it clear that the adaptation of the anime in the early episodes had its little things that weren't quite right. Number 48, Luffy's scar. Luffy made the scar to prove to Shanks that he was brave. We already saw that he cut across his eye, let's say, with that knife, on purpose to say, Shanks, I can be a pirate. Hey, and the kid wasn't wrong. Number 49, adjustments in the anime. In the anime, Zeph cuts off his leg to save Sanji, and in the manga, we see he leg. Number 50, Arlong's battle. In the manga, it is much bloodier than in the anime. In the anime, watch out, it has its blood, but in the manga, it's a massacre. And attention, because these would be the 50 curiosities I have brought you from this blue. You see the first ones, many about Nami, Luffy, and so on, data, details, curiosities about this and that, because after all, we are in the first arcs. We are introducing characters and presenting a bit of curiosities. Let's move on to those from the Arabasta saga. Number 1, the shortest arc in the series. The Reverse Mountain arc is the shortest in both the manga and the anime. Number 2, inspiration for Crocus. The appearance and name of Crocus are based on a genus of plants with the same name. Crocus is a kind of plant. Number 3, meaning of the unfortunates. The name of the group of the unfortunate ones, Mr. 13 and Miss Friday, comes from the superstition of Friday the 13th, playing a bit with the wordplay. Of course, one was, well, Friday. The other was 13. Here, a rhyme for you. Number 4, Oda's fetish. Oda has a fetish for feet and drew the Mugiwara with details on their feet. Number 5, inspiration of the giants. The race of the giants is inspired precisely by the Vikings, which we remember had been the inspiration for One Piece, as we mentioned earlier with the series Vicky the Viking. Number 6, height of Dory and Broggy. Dory is 2 meters and 26 centimeters tall, and Broggy is 2 meters and 13 centimeters tall. Number 7, the design of their beards. Dory has a beard shaped like a sword, and Broggy with the shape of an axe. This curiosity surely had been right in front of us all along, and many people hadn't noticed. Number 8, average lifespan of the giants. Giants live approximately 300 years and are considered adults at 40. Number 9, the age of Dory and Broggy when they arrived at Little Garden. They arrived at Little Garden at 58 years old, so they have been fighting for 100 years, meaning they are now 158 years old. Well, they were, because in this blue, of course, now a little more. Number 10, the power of Miss Golden Week. Her abilities do not come from a devil fruit, but rather are hypnosis that is based on colors. This is why I have been telling you for many years that there is magic in One Piece, because if these things she causes like hypnosis, or these abilities don't come from a devil fruit, it's simply magic. Number 11, Mr. 8. He is inspired by the musician Johann Sebastian Bach, in case anyone had any doubt that he was based on this character. Yes, I'm talking about Higaran, by the way, which many people will recognize better. Number 12, the person responsible for the reward photos. The photographer is called Ata-chan and shouts fire before taking the photos. Number 13, Universal Studios Japan show. There is a show called One Piece Premiere Show with special effects and 3D projections. I would love to go there, honestly. Video comes out filming it there. Vlog comes out there. Watch out. Number 14, Character Camilio, a character created exclusively for the show with the ability to copy power. Number 15, based on real events. The scene where Roger talks about his treasure is based on a French pirate named Olivier Levasseur, who, I must say, has a story very similar to Roger's. Just before dying, he threw out a kind of cryptogram that I believe has not been deciphered to this day, or was only deciphered recently, or something like that. And, well, nobody knows what treasure there is or where it is and all that. Very similar to Roger's. Number 15. Number 16, Shanks and his arm. Initially, Oda was not going to have Shanks lose his arm, but he changed it at his editor's suggestion. And honestly, it turned out well, didn't it? Number 17, Oda's friendship with the creator of Shaman King. They are very good friends and decided to use the same picture in one of their volumes. Number 18, Dalton is the only noble who was not born a noble as such. Number 19, inspiration for Wapple. It is based on Wario, a Nintendo character. It's true, I hadn't thought about it, but it's very obvious, isn't it? Number 20, the origin of the name Hiruluk. Hiruluk comes from ancient Greek and means surgeon. that you catch it with your hand. Number 21, age of Chopper. He is 15 years old before the time skip. Obviously, he is 90 centimeters tall, and his birthday is December 24th, one day before Christmas. How unfortunate. How unfortunate to be born right before Christmas. I mean, you're sure to only get one gift. Number 22, Chopper and Christmas. His birthday coincides with Christmas in Japan. Number 23, One Piece Christmas songs. A Christmas album was released in Japan with songs from Luffy's crew. In fact, if you search for it on YouTube, it's there. I have played it before. I thought it was simply artificial intelligence, but no, it turns out it is real. If you look for One Piece Christmas song or something like that, I imagine you will find the Straw Hats singing Christmas carols. It's really cool. 24, Chopper's first design. Chopper's first design was very different from the current one, and it was thought that he should also be brave and cute. The truth is that Chopper's previous design was kind of weird, honestly. The first design of Chopper, the good one that they published, was cool. Now, the one after the time skip, with all the nerfing they've done, it makes me want to do something very bad. Number 25, Chopper's voice actress. She is also the one who plays Pikachu, Attention, and Gamakichi from Naruto. Number 26, the cross on Chopper's hat. The X on his hat is a hospital cross, but diagonal. Number 21, Chopper's nationality. If Chopper existed in the real world, he would be Canadian. Number 28, Chopper's favorite food. Cotton candy. How he likes it, huh? How he likes it. Don't give cotton candy to animals, no poor thing. Number 29, Chopper's transformation. Oda mentioned that if someone ate the Hito Hito no Mi, well, nothing would happen. They would just become an enlightened human. Number 30, the voice of Dr. Kureta is the same actress who does the voice of Goku in Japan. Oh, and our dear Goku. Number 31, Akira Toriyama prefers One Piece. When Akira Toriyama was asked which series he would choose as a successor to Dragon Ball, he said One Piece. How great, the good old Toriyama. Number 32, inspiration for the Arabasta Kingdom. It's based on India and on Egypt. There are many people who think it's only based on Egypt. No, it's also based on India. This explains things about the live action, like, well, we've seen how they've chosen certain actors who also have Indian ancestry. Number 33, the name of Arabasta comes from the word alabaster, which is a mineral found in Egyptian artifacts. Number 34, facts about Ace. Ace is 20 years old before the time skip. No. Otherwise no after the time skip. Ace is 20 years old, stands 185 centimeters tall, and his birthday is on the 1st of January. Curious that Ace, let's see, has a birthday on January 1st. Being Roger's son, being the new generation, and January 1st being what ushers in the new year, right? It's cool. Number 35, Vivi's last name is inspired by Queen Nefertari, wife of Pharaoh Ramses II. Number 36, Hill's Data. She is 16 years old before the time skip. Now she is already an adult. She is 69, and her birthday is February 2nd. Number 37, Vivi's representative color is white gold. Number 38, Vivi's representative animal is the dove. Vivi's Egyptian god would be Horus. Careful. Number 40, Shaka and Anubis. Shaka represents Anubis, who is the god of death. Number 41, Pell is based on a chocobo similar to the bird from the Final Fantasy series games. I must say that I haven't played it, so I don't exactly know what it is. I'll show you some pictures and such, but I hope these animals survive nuclear bombs. You know, almost like the ones Pell took with his whole mouth. I hope. Damn it. Number 42, Avatar of Oda. The thing is that Oda's avatar is a person with a fish head. After years of reviewing this avatar, I've thought, if the world were to sink and I wanted to survive, maybe with a fish head I would survive. This guy had thought of everything. Number 43, drawing with the left hand. A fan asked Oda to draw the Straw Hats with his left hand, and indeed, he did. I don't know if I'll find any images, but I'll try to show them on the screen. If not, I'll show you a wizard cat. Let's see if I can find it. Number 44, actors from the live action series. Iñaki Godoy is Luffy, Makenyu is Zoro, Emily Rudd is Nami, and Jacob Romero is Number 45. The inspiration for the Spider's Cafe is based on the movie Baghdad Cafe. I have no idea. Honestly, no, I haven't seen it. Number 46, mistakes in the anime. In episode 117, the animators forgot that Shanks does not have an arm, and he appeared with both. In fact, this has led to theories that Shanks has 2 arms and has always had them. I think it's clear now that this is not the case, but oh well. Number 47, Robin in the series is 28 years old before the time skip and is 188 centimeters tall, and her birthday is on February 6th. She's very tall, Robin, but very much so. Number 48, Robin's representative color is purple. Number 49, Robin's representative animal would be the crane. And number 50, Robin's favorite food would be any food that can be accompanied with tea. Curious that my favorite food would be Robin, like, concept in general. Let's go with the first one, which is that the Sky Island saga spans directly from episodes 136 to 206. Second curiosity, in episode 145, the Mugiwara encounter optical projections of the inhabitants of Skypiea, a real phenomenon called Brock and Spectre. Listen to me, if I find this in the middle of the sea, I think I would die. No kidding, I think I'd die. I mean, I'm halfway on a ship and I see that, and I promise you I'd die on the spot, seriously, but it's no joke. How would you react if you saw that? Because the fright, and nowadays, knowing this, well, you're calmer, but you still get scared. But imagine, I don't know, 500 years ago when maybe this wasn't known. How scary. It's no wonder all those legends of giants and things like that came about. Third curiosity, the pirate Lafitte might be inspired by Alex DeLarge from A Clockwork Orange, and Yoko Kanno, singer of the Japanese band Pinky and the Killer. The fourth is that Blackbeard loves cherry pie, unlike Luffy, who hates this dessert. The fifth is that the Knockup Stream is inspired by a real natural phenomenon, the limnic eruption. Well, folks, I have already bought a boat. It is true that I am a little afraid of the shadows that may be there, but I am heading straight for Skypiea. You already know it's one of my favorite arcs. I'm heading over there. I've brought rubber gloves just in case there's an Enel around, so it won't affect me. But anyway, I'm heading there directly. I'll wait for you, and well, we'll have a party when I get there. The sixth is that Skypiea is inspired by the conquest of America, with foreigners invading the lands of the natives. Considering that a large part of the people who watch this channel are from America, this curiosity might not have amused them much. The seventh is that in the anime, the voice actors of the Mugiwara also lend their voices to various animals that appear in the series, using pseudonyms for these works. Curiosity number 8, and it is that the character Enel is physically inspired by the rapper Eminem, with influences from the Japanese god of thunder, Raijin. Eminem the best. Ninth curiosity, and it's that under the scarf, attention, Enel has an afro. I mean, when I saw this, I remember I laughed because it was so funny. I thought it was a lie, but no. It turns out it's official. I mean, it was very funny to me. Enel has an afro under the scarf. Cool. 10th curiosity, Enel calls himself God, but in the United States, he was renamed Skylord due to religious reasons. Meanwhile, in the Spanish dub, Usopp prayed to Allah and said he was Arab. Honestly, it's a bit curious. 11th curiosity, there is a crossover between One Piece, Dragon Ball, and Kochikame, where Luffy, Goku, and other characters team up to Enel. 12th curiosity, the character Pierre, the bird that Ganfall rides, shares the same voice actor as Zoro. This, when I saw it, I said, it can't be. I mean, I didn't realize it at any point. It is also true that I watched it in Spanish and I think I haven't seen it in Japanese. But truthfully, it is an interesting fact. Number 13, the more you hold it, the bigger it gets. And Wiper's facial tattoo is inspired by the tattoo of the boxer, Mike Tyson. Number 14, originally Aisha was going to be an adult woman instead of a child. I think they didn't do wrong in making her a child, since everyone there was very adult, and the fact that she was somewhat irrelevant being a child and such, well, it seems to me, well, it kind of changes the perspective a little. Perhaps makes you see it in a somewhat more sensitive way, and I think it's quite good. Good change. Number 15, and it's that Nala could be inspired by the feathered serpent Quetzalcoatl and Jormungandr from Norse mythology. Number 16, Eiichiro Oda is a fan of Eminem, which is why it is presumed that Enel's design is based on him. Number 17, Enel is 37 years old and measures 2 meters and 66 before the time skip, obviously. Number 18, the tale of Jack and the Beanstalk served as inspiration for the theme of Sky Island. Number 19, in the original version, Conus was going to have loose hair, but this was ultimately changed in the final version and they decided to tie it up. Number 20, Mont Blanc Nolan is based on Francisco de Orellana, a Spanish explorer who claimed to have found El Dorado. Honestly, it seems like a good reference to me, since they are two people who supposedly found El Dorado but couldn't prove it, so it's cool. Good. Number 21, Panda Man is a recurring character hidden in the manga who used to have a great fortune in his own island, but was chased by a debt collector named Tomato Gang. Honestly, when I saw this, I found out suddenly that Panda Man has lore. What is this? Number 22, the character of Gunfall and his horse are inspired by Don Quixote and Rocinante. Number 23, in a 2009 survey in Japan, about which manga they wanted to see in live action, One Piece came in second behind Slam Dunk, and several years later we have had the live action. Number 24, in the anime assassination classroom, there are several references to One Piece, including Koro Sensei dressed as Luffy. I haven't seen this, but I think it's that yellow octopus. Well, a series about whether they get rid of him or not. I don't know. Number 25. The pink snow that appears in the series is a real phenomenon called watermelon snow due to an algae that colors the snow that shade. Number 26. In episode 339 of Gantz, a group of imprisoned people sings the song We Are, the first opening of One Piece. Number 27. The name of Enel's ship Maxim might be inspired by the first machine gun called Maxim, which facilitated European colonization. Number 28. The woman with whom Sanji dances after defeating Enel is named Martin. This is amazing, everyone has a name, huh? Number 29. Eiichiro Oda only sleeps 3 hours a day during the work week because, according to him, his creativity increases when he is tired. This, if I'm not mistaken, I think is a fact that is no longer the case. There's no information on his current situation, but I think Oda is resting more. In fact, today I just found out that there will be 2 weeks of break. When you are watching this, I'm already letting you know that chapter 1130 is going to be the next one out of the manga, and then there are 2 weeks of break. A shame, but well, as long as he rests, I'm happy. Number 30. Oda said that if he could be a character from One Piece, he would be Robin because he could make many hands sprout and draw manga 20 times faster. This man thinks about working all day. Number 31. Wapol ended up homeless after his defeat. But thanks to his devil fruit, he started creating toys from scrap, which helped him form his own commercial empire. Number 32. Ace was looking for Blackbeard during his mini story, but there isn't much relevant information about his journey. Number 33. The G8 filler arc is one of the longest in One Piece with 11 episodes, and it was originally going to be a movie. I mean, that's surreal. In the movie The Curse of the Sacred Sword, there's an extremely graphic scene where several pirates are cut into pieces. I have to say that the only One Piece movies I have seen are Stampede and Film Red. The rest, since they are not canon, I haven't felt like watching them. Number 35. In the same movie, after Sanji kicks an enemy, his eyebrows turn blonde due to an animation error. Number 36. In 2018, a special episode was aired that summarized the Skypiea saga in an hour and a half. The animation is of better quality than the original, but important characters like Bellamy and Blackbeard's crew are left out. The truth is that when they have tried to make a saga summary, it turned out horrible. In fact, I remember they tried to do Drum and Frankie and Robin appeared. You tell me. During the end credits of the Skypiea special, a bounty poster of the Japanese singer Nami Amuro appears as a tribute to her 25 years of career. Number 38. The short Django Dance Carnival is based on Django's mini story, which is shown in the manga. Number 39. In the short Dream Soccer King, the Straw Hat crew participates in a penalty shootout against the villains of the series. This short film, a short about the 2002 World Cup, which was hosted in Japan. If you haven't seen that short, watch it because it's good. I mean, it's fun, it's cool, and well, truly. It's on YouTube. Number 40. The controversy of the One Piece anime in Turkey was due to strict anti-smoking laws, which led to the ban of the broadcast after 52 episodes because of characters who smoked, like Sanji or Smoker. Number 41. During a live broadcast by the editors of One Piece to commemorate the 1000th chapter of the manga, one of them accidentally shared their browsing history, which included illegal manga sites. What scoundrels reading the manga illegally. What a bunch of scoundrels. Imagine reading it illegally and not purchased from Japan. What a scoundrel. Number 42. In the manga, Bellamy attacks a pirate named Roshios in a much more brutal way. He stabs a knife into his hand, shoots him in the leg, and hits him with a bottle before setting him on fire. Bellamy was literally the Joker. Number 43. In the anime, Bellamy punches Luffy, but in the manga, he attacks him with a bottle. Number 44. In the anime, Bellamy manages to hit Luffy once, but in the manga, Luffy dodges all his attacks. Number 45. Originally, Gedatsu was going to have purple hair in the manga, but in the anime, his hair is blue. Number 46. The anime added several scenes with the Sky Sharks attacking the Straw Hats, which do not appear in the manga. Number 47. The fight between Luffy and Wiper is bloodier in the manga than in the anime. Number 48. The flashback in which we see Wiper and Gon fall as children is exclusive to the anime. The truth is that the anime, when it starts adding many things like this, such as flashbacks that are not in the manga, it makes me nervous because it alters my perception of reality. Scoundrel. Number 49. The fight between Luffy and Enel is more violent in the manga than in the anime. You see, here they reduce many things in the anime and try to make it much softer. Give me violence, man. And number 50, Luffy's imitation of Sanji does not occur in the manga. It was added in the anime to lighten the tone. You see, this is a good point. Luffy imitating Sanji, Ko. And having seen these 50 curiosities of Skypiea's Sky Island, let's go directly with the Water 7 saga, which watch out. The first is that Oda was inspired by the nomadic peoples of Mongolia to create Tonji and his clothing, lifestyle, mare, and yurt. The second is that Tonjit's mare shares the same voice actress as Robin. The truth is I didn't know this, and when I saw it I was quite shocked. Number 3. And Foxy is inspired by the mascot of the American cereal called Captain Crunch. Number 4 is that the gesture Foxy makes with his hands to emit the Noro Noro beams resembles to how the Japanese raise their hands to represent a fox. In fact, if you've seen Chainsaw Man, you see that, well, it could have any similarity to that. Number 5 is that in episode 226, the animators made the mistake of showing 2 bulls on screen at the same time, which led to theories like the one about Shanks' arm that we discussed earlier. The 6th is that at the end of the David Back fight, Luffy decides to take Foxy's pirate flag, a nod to the One Piece prototype called Romance Dawn. First version. The 7th is that the design of Lucky Roo from Shanks' Pirates is based on the Japanese wrestler Sakan Matsuda. The 8th is that Kokoro was originally going to be a man, and when they decided to make her a woman, Oda thought of making her more attractive. The 9th is that Water 7 is inspired by Venice, and several of its places are based on real sites, like the Rialto Bridge and the Bridge of Sighs. The 10th is that the Venetian masks used in the Carnival of Venice also appear in Water 7. The 11th is that the design of Pipple and Lulu is based on Freddie Mercury, in case you hadn't noticed. Number 12. Oda's uncle is a taxi driver in Kyoto, and this is known because a fan met him and gave him a One Piece poster. 13. Zombai, the leader of the gangs in Water 7, tried to become a shipbuilder before failing. Number 14. Frankie's design is inspired by Frankenstein and Jim Carrey in Ace Ventura. Number 15. Frankie always carries tools in his underwear. Number 16. During the Tokyo 2020 Olympics, shot putter Peyton Otterdahl did Frankie's iconic pose, and in fact, in these last Olympics, if you look, you see that there are a lot of people who have made references to One Piece. That's cool. Number 17. Frankie bathes once every 3 days, while Luffy only bathes once a week. Number 18. Robin and Nami bathe every day, while Chopper and Usopp do so once every 3 days. Number 19. Kuro's speed power seen in the Syrup Village arc is as fast as CP9's Zoro. Watch out for Kuro's speed, huh? Number 20 is that Zoro has a terrible sense of direction, and Natty Dia claims his cursed sword amplifies that problem. Number 21, the junk island where Frankie builds his ships is inspired by an industrial island in Nagasaki, Japan. Number 22, Tom, the master shipwright, is inspired by the boxfish, also called the cowfish. Number 23, Tom's story and the construction of the sea train could be inspired by Ken Follett's The Pillars of the Earth. Number 24, in Venice, there is a phenomenon called Aqua Alta, which affects the city with high tides, similar to what happens in Water 7 with Aqua Lacuna, and we see that Oda took this from the real world. And watch out, because maybe if we investigate a little about that phenomenon, we can understand more about this, especially considering Vegapunk's words that the world is sinking. Number 25, and it's because Oda does not draw all the backgrounds of the panels, as his team takes care of them, while he draws any living or moving beings. Number 26. The Den Den Mushi can communicate telepathically and have some receivers that can be manipulated without harming the snail. I've always found the Den Den Mushi very interesting, and I hope at some point it will be a foreshadowing of something important or have an explanation. I like that they communicate with snails, and I find it curious. Number 27, the Rocket Man has a painted face as a reference to nose art, a decorative design used on aircraft. Number 28, the Sogeking song only appears during 2 panels in the manga, but in the anime, it got a full sequence. Look, in the end, the anime does something right. Number 29, Chopper's monster transformation power is inspired by the novel Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Number 30, Rob Lucci is 28 years old. He is 2 meters and 12 centimeters tall, and we see that his birthday is on June 2nd. This obviously before the time skip. Now he is 30. Number 31, Rob Lucci's design might be inspired by the character Sport from the movie Taxi Driver. Number 32, in the anime, a scene was added where Nami changes clothes and Kokoro offers to do the same, but everyone rejects her. This scene does not happen in the manga. Number 33, in the manga, the children throw a rock at Robin making her bleed, but in the anime, they changed it to a tomato. You see, they messed it up again. It's really bad. Number 34, in Sogeking's mission, he ends up becoming the head of a hot spring without realizing it. Number 35, the Baroque Works mission reveals that Mr. 2, Bon Clay, disguised himself as Miss Golden Week to help the other members escape. How great, Bon Clay! Number 36, in the 42-minute special episode, an alternate version of Luffy is shown, who is a policeman instead of a pirate, inspired by the Edo period. Number 37, in episode 291, Pandaman has a significant role for the first time in the entire history of One Piece. Number 38, in episode 303, the singers of the 8th opening, Takei and Tsubasa, make a brief cameo at the end of the introduction. Number 39, the movie The Miracle of the Winter Cherry Blossom is a remake of the Drum Island story. with the new members of the Straw Hats like Robin, Frankie, and the Thousand Sunny. Number 40, the villain of the movie, Baron Omatsuri, The Island of Secrets, is based on Mamoru Hosoda's experience at Studio Ghibli, where he was not given creative freedom. Number 41, in the movie The Giant Mechanical Soldier of Karakuri Castle, Chopper's voice was provided by a different actress due to the pregnancy of his own voice actress. Number 42, the gravity of Robin's breasts in the movie The Giant Mechanical Soldier of Karakuri Castle seems to function differently from other characters. You know what I mean when I mention gravity and all. Let's say they focused a lot on making that part of Robin. Number 43, Spandam's mask is inspired by the wrestler Munich Uli, a fighter who later found out about this inspiration upon finding the May manga in a store. Number 44, the Library of O'Hara on Robin's home island is inspired by the Central Library of Liverpool and the Britannic Museum. Number 45, the name Clover, the leader of the archaeologists in O'Hara, means clover in English, coinciding with his clover-shaped hairstyle. Number 46, the character Fukuro was originally going to be muscular and not have a zipper on the mouth. Number 47, the anime added scenes of Spandam torturing Robin, which are not presented in the manga. Number 48, in volume 44 of the manga, the CP9 members are shown as children, something that was not included in the anime. Number 49, in the 42-minute special episode, an alternative version of Luffy is shown, who is a policeman instead of a pirate. Number 50, in the Ministry of Gadatsu, it is revealed that the Elder Koro, who helped him, is the brother of Toto, the owner of the thermal spring. Let's go with the Thriller Bark saga. We start with the first one, which is that Thriller Bark is the shortest saga of One Piece, since it only has 5 volumes and 48 chapters in the manga, and in the anime only has 44 episodes. And indeed, it is the shortest saga, as it is an arc that is also a saga. The second is that this saga is the only one in One Piece with just one story arc, just what I just said. The third is that the name Thriller Bark comes from thriller, which is suspense, and bark, which is ship, making an allusion to the ship of suspense. Number 4 is that the castle of Thriller Bark is inspired by the Abbey of Mont Saint-Michel. Number 5 is that Sindri's obsession with breaking plates is based on a Japanese legend about a maid named Okiku. Number 6 is that the zombies of Thriller Bark are greatly inspired by the work of The Island of Dr. Moreau, where a doctor gives human characteristics to animals, which honestly is quite creepy. Number 7 is that the first zombie movie, White Zombie, inspired the story of Dr. Hogback in this saga. We see that Oda in this arc did take many references from everything to make it. Perhaps that's why it is so different. Number 8 is that the zombie tree named McDonald in Thriller Bark is a wordplay between McDonald's and Moku, which means tree. We see that Oda truly set out to play and have fun. Number 9 is that Oda, the creator of One Piece, would cleanse himself spiritually after drawing Thriller Bark because of his aversion to horror. I mean, Oda drew things that were scary in Thriller Bark, and just in case, he did a kind of spiritual cleansing because, well, it creeped him out a bit, I must say. Thriller Bark's son, it's not exactly the pinnacle of horror, I must say. Number 10, and the character Ryuma, the zombie swordsman who faces off against Zoro in that saga, had already appeared before in an earlier one-shot by Oda called Monster. I believe many of you know this. Number 11, the 3 messenger zombies of Moria are a reference to the Nightmare Before Christmas. Number 12, Hilden, the messenger bat, shares many similarities with the character Haruma from Eyeshield 21. Number 13, the more you grab it, the more it grows on me, and it's that Perona was initially going to be a very quiet and bitter girl, similar to what Wednesday from the Addams Family would be. Number 14, Absalom's invisibility power was inspired by the 1933 film The Invisible Man. Number 15, Perona's ability to send explosive ghosts strongly resembles Gotenk's attack in Dragon Ball Z. Number 16, Sanji's zombie wears a hat similar to the one Sanji used in the David Back fight. Number 17, Moria's character underwent several design changes, including one as a shepherd with a personality disorder. This is surreal. Number 18, if you put together Koza and Mori from Gecko Moria, you get Komori, which means bat in Japanese. And then we had Moria's attacks, some of which were bat related. Number 19, the scene where Moria takes people's shadows by cutting them is inspired by Peter Pan and his lost shadow. Number 20, Thriller Bark is the only arc where Robin calls Nami by her name after the events at Eni's lobby. Number 21, Oars, the zombie giant, is 67 meters tall, 4 times the height of an average giant. It's crazy. Number 22, Kamashi, Perona's zombie bear, was inspired by a teddy bear she had in her childhood. Number 23. Brooke, the skeleton musician, was inspired by Jack Skellington from The Nightmare Before Christmas. Number 24. Brooke's distinctive laugh, the ho, 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 comes from the novel Treasure Island. Coincidence? I do not believe it. Number 25. In the movie One Piece film Strong World, Oda introduced the legendary pirate Shiki, rival of Gol D. Roger. Number 26. Brooke's design as a skeleton with an afro was already planned since Oda drew Laboon. This guy is crazy in a good way. Number 27. The zombies that emerge from paintings in Thriller Bark are a reference to the Addams family. Number 28. The reason Maria's zombies fall with salt is due to the popular belief that salt purifies evil spirits, and I believe this is emphasized much more in Japan than in other countries. Number 29, in the Water 7 saga, the Straw Hats predicted several events of Thriller Bark. Number 30, in the spin-off One Piece Academy, the characters from One Piece are high school students. Number 31, Oda originally planned for Robin to be a man interested in plants. Not in the story. Number 32. Frankie was going to be portrayed as a dwarf character in his first concepts. Number 33. Odie stated that there is a possibility that the home country of Oars still exists. Maybe we will see it soon. Number 34. Brooke smells like tea and his favorite dishes include curry and okonomiyaki. Number 35. Captain John Zombie has scars and swords stuck in by his own crewmates, which are supposed who hated him. Later we would learn that these were the Red Pirates. Number 36, Lola's zombie is a parody of Miss Piggy, who also persistently pursues her beloved. Number 37, the power of Nightmare Luffy was initially going to make Luffy serious and polite, which later, well, did not. It has been like that. Number 38, Gecko Moria's favorite foods include marinated caviar. Number 39, Absalom enjoys roasted zebra meat as his favorite dish. Number 40, Brooke upon dying, returning with the Yomi Yomi alludes to the 88s. Keys of a piano, and we see that Oda is indeed quite crazy and has everything very well planned. Number 48, Kuma, another Shichibukai, was going to have a cross design on his head, which he later gave to Perona. Number 42, Chopper, according to the original designs, would be an adult reindeer and smoker with a goatee. This was going to be very unsettling. Number 43, the Straw Hats form a sort of family where Brooke is the grandfather and Robin and Frankie are the parents. Number 44, the appearance of Mariah's Kakehake no Mi resembles a skull, fitting with the dark theme of the saga. And in fact, if you look at and see the designs of various Akuma no Mi, you can guess what power they have or get close. As it seems like it is intentional, that's why I think they are artificial. Number 45. Captain John Zombie was mentioned by Buggy before being revived as a zombie in Thriller. Number 46. In the first speed competition among the Straw Hats, Brooke is the winner. Number 47. The One Piece pilot in 1998, before the series, featured Luffy, Zoro, and Nami with very different voices. Number 48. The character Gecko Moria is 6.92 meters, and his birthday is September 6th, making him the tallest and oldest Shichibukai at that time. Number 49, Oda stated that if Brooke existed in real life, he would be Austrian, like a certain painter. Number 50, in it, he becomes the god of the moon in a mini arc after discovering an ancient city on the moon. We will go to the moon, people, trust. And these have been the 50 curiosities of the Thriller Bark saga or arc. Now we will move on to the Marineford saga. First curiosity, and it is that Rayleigh's first appearance was in episode 8 during a flashback of Buggy. Although I must say that in that first version he had black hair and no scar. Number 2, Oda had planned for Roger's mustache to actually be nasal hair, which is visible in the first opening of One Piece. Number 3, the hairstyle of the celestial dragons in Sabaody is inspired by the film The Adventures of Baron Munchausen. Number 4, Kizaru riding a cannonball references a scene from the same movie. Number 5, Boa Hancock was going to have a tattoo on her face in her initial designs and be a bit older. Number 6, the structure of Impel Down is inspired by Dante's Divine Comedy, with levels like the Inferno of. Number 7, Magellan spends 42% of his day in the bathroom due to his digestive issues, which is about 10 hours. Number 8, the Minotaurs and the other guards of Impel Down lack emotions due to the awakening of their Zuha fruits. Number 9, and it is that level 5.5 of Impel Down, Nukama Land is inspired by the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Number 10, Ivankov is based on a friend of Eiichiro Oda, a real Okama named Norio Imamura. How cool to be Oda's friend and have him include you in his work, huh? How cool. Number 11, the Shichibukai extended the duration of One Piece because originally Oda only planned for Luffy to face the Yonko. Well, thank goodness you included the Shichibukai to add a little bulk, because otherwise, I don't know with Kaido what would've. Number 12. The three admirals are based on Japanese actors and represent different types of justice: absolute, lazy, and uncertain. Number 13. Blackbeard's personality is inspired by a bar owner Oda met, who always told war stories. Number 14. Shanks appeared in Marineford at the last moment, and this is because Oda decided to include him spontaneously. Number 15. On the cover of chapter 519 of the manga, Oda decided to shade him in black in honor of the final chapter of Dragon Ball, as a tribute to Toriyama. Number 16. The cover of chapter 596 of the manga shows an adult version of Ace, without the tattoo with the crossed out S. Number 17. There is an adaptation of the Marineford saga in Kabuki Theater, One Piece Super Kabuki 2. Number 18. In Sadie's original design, the torturer from Impel Down, she wore a mask and cape. Number 19. Boa Hancock is the character most difficult for Oda to draw, as he always tries to make her look perfect. Number 20. Boa Hancock's appearance when transforming into Black Cat was an initial concept for her devil fruit. Number 21. Rayleigh's scar was added in later versions after his debut in the series. Number 22. Whitebeard, despite his name, does not have a beard. The Japanese term for beard and mustache is the same. Number 23. Akainu could have found the One Piece in 1 year if he were the protagonist, according to Oda. Number 24. The Shichibukai pirates were designed to inspire fear. Their initial silhouettes in the story did not have defined shapes. Number 25. Oda came up with the idea that Boa Hancock's power would not affect Luffy because he is not interested in women. Number 26. The character of Magellan was inspired by Beelzebub, a wall demon. Number 27. Blackbeard is 666 centimeters tall and 72 years old at the time of the Marineford War. Number 28. In the anime, the fight between Mihawk and Jinbei was an addition that does not appear in the manga. Number 29. Number 29. The characters of Jonathan and his subordinates in Marineford come from the filler of the G8 saga in the anime. Number 30. In the manga, when Mihawk attacks Whitebeard, he blocks with his body. In the anime, he steps back and deflects it. Number 31. The design of Ace's wounds in the prison and Whitebeard's in Marineford was softened in the anime. Number 32. The series also shows additional scenes in Boa Hancock's fantasies with Luffy, exclusive to the anime. Number 33. The scene where Ace resists being taken to Marineford was added only in the anime. Number 34. Django and Fullbody fight against Luffy in the anime, but that fight is not canon. Number 35. Teach kills Thatch in the anime by stabbing him in the back, something not shown in the manga. Number 36. The scene where a dead Marine has a photo of his family in his hand is exclusive to the anime. Number 37. The novel One Piece episode. O shows the origin of Ace as a pirate, adapted by Boichi in the manga. Number 38. In Impel Down, Bon Clay leaves a kiss mark on the screen in episode 431, saying goodbye to the audience. Number 39. Akainu, Aokiji, and Chizuru have names derived from the legend of Momotaro with representative animals. Number 40. Kuma was depicted with alternative designs from when he was a child and if he were of the opposite sex. Number 41. The saga reveals that Kuma lost his personality when he was transformed into a complete pacifist. Number 42. The CP9, after being defeated, survives and is shown in a mini arc seeking money to heal Lucci. Number 43. The Marineford saga features numerous historical elements and references to real naval warfare conflict. Number 44. The story reveals that Ace is the son of Gold D. Roger, something Oda did not originally plan. Number 45. The CP9 mini-story shows the group being pursued by the Navy after the defeat at Eni's lobby. Number 46. In an early version, Ivankov would have a less extravagant and more realistic design. Number 47. Aokiji had an explosive character before changing to lazy justice after the Ohara events. Number 48. The Shichibukai in the story are based on real pirates who received government permits to plunder. Number 49. In a deleted scene from the manga, the swordsman Hayozu of the Sun Pirates was going to be part of Marineford. And number 50, the cover of chapter 596 shows a happy and tragic version of the possible future of Ace and Sam. We start with Fishman Island and go with the first one. It was 2 years, both in the manga and in real life, for the Straw Hat crew to reunite. This is due to the separation they had in Sabaody, because in the manga, well, 2 years passed until they reunited, and also the same happened during the time skip. Then we have that in the story, everything that happened before the time leap. It happened more or less in 4 months. The third would be that Zoro's scar generated theories, since Oda mentioned he plans to introduce a character with an eye patch in the last chapters of the series, and for now, we haven't seen it. The fourth would be that Oda made a drawing mistake by drawing Zoro's scar on the right eye on a cover, and it was corrected in the upcoming volumes. The next would be that the fake Straw Hat crew has the same voices as the original characters, but with different mixes. In other words, each one does the voice of another character. A spectacular detail, in my opinion. The next one would be that the armament hockey is black after the time skip, so that viewers recognize its use. And this seems to me one of the best things Oda did, since hockey before this was hardly understandable and hardly explainable. It was no longer known when they used it and when they didn't. And making it black, I think, is perfect. The 7th would be that Shirahoshi, who by the way is 16 years old and measures 11.87 meters, had her design adapted in a unique style by Kohei Horikoshi, the creator of My Hero Academia. Another is that Vanderdecken's ship, the Flying Dutchman, is based on the legend of a ghost ship. Character, in my opinion, totally underused, to be honest. The next would be that Oda confirmed that Hody Jones, a shark fishman, has two since male sharks have that characteristic. Yes, it's what you're imagining. If someone hasn't understood it, yes, think the worst and you'll be right. The 10th would be that Fishman Island is inspired by Greek temples, the Ryugu Palace, and the Mahabhat Maqbara complex in India. I'm surprised I said it right. The word first. The next would be that the conflict between fishmen and humans is a parallel with the civil rights movement in the United States, comparing Fisher Tiger to Malcolm X and Odoheim to Martin Luther King Jr. The next one would be that the scene of forcing citizens to step on the Queen's image is based on a real practice used in Japan to identify Christians. Another one is that Oda chose Luffy's rubber power because he wanted to give him a funny power that would allow for jokes. Then we saw that this funny power and jokes, well, had a bit of foreshadowing, right? Let's say it had a bit more meaning than usual. Another one would be that Shanks and Rayleigh could have defeated the 100,000 fishmen with their Conqueror's Haki, while Luffy at that time only managed half. As of today, I think I could take on, I don't know if they are 1,000, but 70, 80, or 90,000, yes. Number 15 would be that Frankie's giant robot is made of Wapol metal, a material invented by Wapol using his devil fruit. The 16th would be that Jinbei was originally going to be a villain and a friend of Zoro in his initial designs to show how the story changes. Another would be that Jinbei's Jolly Roger was initially designed by a fan and then modified by Oda. The next would be that Oda changed some representative animals of the Straw Hats after the time skip. The 19th would be that the only filler episode in that saga was a crossover between One Piece and Tony. Number 20 would be that in the original manga, Zoro never calls Sanji by his name, while Sanji does so occasionally. The next would be that the mini story of this saga shows how the crew's acquaintances react to the news of their reunion. The next one would be that Makina, who is Luffy's friend, appears with a baby in the mini-story, suggesting that she has become a mother. Who could be the lucky father? Shanks, perhaps. Be careful, huh? The next one would be that Vivi, who is in Arabasta, is now the Minister of the Environment and is seen taking care of her father. Now then, taking care of him. The next would be that in the Skypiea theme park, it is based on Luffy's rubber sold by Ganfall and the island's inhabitants. And then we would see that Skypiea has a lot of connection with rubber, with Nika and such. Well, Oda is sick. The next is that on cover 519, we see Wapol, who regains his title as king in a kingdom called New Black Drum. The next would be that Mr. 2. Bon Clay, survivor of Impel Down, becomes the queen 5.5 of the new Kamaland level. Yes, for those who do not know, Bon Clay is alive. I say it whenever I can, because I know there are people who only watch the anime and have not learned this, and yes, it is confirmed that Bon Clay is alive. Some people thought he died. I don't understand, because some people think he died. I mean, I don't get what conclusion they reached. I don't know. I don't understand. The next thing is that Jinbei's updated height is 301 centimeters, making him the tallest Straw Hat. Number 28 is that in Jinbei's first designs, he was already supposed to steer the Straw Hat Pirates' ships. Something we have seen happen, he has become the helmsman. Number 29 is that if Jinbei existed in real life, he would be Indian. His representative color is ochre, and he smells like seawater. Number 30 is that Jinbei would take the title of the father of the crew, a role that Oda previously assigned to Frankie, who is now the perverted grandmother. I can't handle these things. The next one would be that Jinbei's voice actor says that if he had a devil fruit, it would be the Tori Tori no Mi bird fruit to compensate for his inability to swim. Very well done, truly, very well done. Number 32 is that Fisher Tiger died in an act of rebellion by refusing to accept a human blood transfusion, symbolizing his rejection of humans. The next one is that the only character Jinbei cannot forgive is Teach, who betrayed Ace. I am looking forward to the encounter between these two. The next one would be that Chopper's monster point might be inspired by the Wendigo, which is a mythological creature. Number 35 would be that the Sea Kings carrying the Noah ship had already appeared briefly in episode 55. we will need to review this further. The next is that Jinbei's voice actor, who is Katsuhisa Hoki, shares a voice actor with Zoro in the dubbed versions of certain countries. The next is that the relationship between Otohime and Fisher Tiger represents two perspectives of peace, reflecting the tension between integration and segregation. I think Fishman Island is a bit underrated. Honestly, I believe certain themes are well addressed, and the fact that it doesn't have a very strong villain, so to speak, is a bit of a flaw. I'll check out the remake they're doing in the anime now. Let's see how it goes. You know, I don't watch the anime, but well, I'll take a look at the remake. Let's see if I can come up with something. Number 38 is that in the flashback of Fishman Island, Holly Jones mentions that it was inspired by the hatred of previous generations. The next one would be that Jinbei reveals that the Guananokuni fish used by the crew are popular for their resilience in deep waters. Number 40 would be that the blood type of each Straw Hat is revealed in this saga, an important detail for the transfusion arc of Jinbei and Luffy. The next one would be that Oda created the Fishman Island to show discrimination in the world, a very recurring theme in One Piece. Number 42 would be that the character designs of Fishman Island are inspired by mythical and marine creatures. The next one would be that Jinbei has his own Jolly Roger, which represents his independence and his respect for freedom from Luffy. Another one is that in the anime, some scenes of violence and blood were censored compared to the manga. The next one is that in the manga, Holly Jones's bite to a crew member is much more graphic than in the anime. The next one would be that Luffy activates the second gear on his whole body in the anime, while in the manga, he only activates it on his arm. Number 47 would be that in a scene where Sanji makes an obscene gesture, it was removed from the anime. Number 48 is that in the manga, Luffy teases Caribou with a wooden stick, and this scene was adapted differently in the anime. Perhaps this in the anime affects a bit the fact that there are these small changes, but well. Number 49 would be that Luffy's farewell at the end of the saga recalls his relationship with Vivi, as he considers Shirahoshi an ally. And number 50 is that on the cover of Ace and Whitebeard's grave, someone had left flowers and 3 cups of sake, a symbol of respect. Who could it be? And these are the 50 curiosities of Fishman Island, and now we'll go with the 50 of Punk Hazard. The first is that Punk Hazard is the first island the Straw Hats visit in the New World, and its shape resembles a Pokeball, or Pokebola as they call it in Latin America. The second would be that Oda planned to create 2 separate islands, one of fire and another of ice, but he combined them to save time, and it's a good thing he did, honestly. The third is that the concept of the New World is based on the historical term used by Europeans to refer to America. The fourth is that the dragon that attacks the crew is Vegapunk's 13th attempt to create a successful dragon. Number 5 is that the idea of Zoro cutting a dragon is inspired by a one-shot called Monsters, which Oda drew in 1994. This is very unpopular regarding Ryuma. Number 6 is that Oda explained that Robin has an innocent side and a disturbing one, which causes her dark comments. The truth is that Robin is curious, because of course I remember when this pink dragon dies in South, and she gets super sad and all that, and says it's super cute, and then she has super disturbing comments like, well, this person is going to die, and so on. Robin is a bit strange. Number 7 is that Brownbeard's braided beard is inspired by the real-life pirate Blackbeard. Too bad the character isn't, because what a waste. Number 8 is that Monet is the first woman in the series who consumes a fruit of the type, Logia. Number 9 is that her design is inspired by Yuki Onna, a Japanese spirit that freezes people. Monet's design is amazing, right? Number 10 would be that Virgo always ate hamburgers, french fries, and strawberry shakes for breakfast. Well, as it is, right? The Mediterranean breakfast, right? A bit of hamburger, fries, and a strawberry milkshake. The mother that bore you. Number 14 is that Smiley's fruit is the axolotl salamander model, although it's not mentioned in the anime. I have to say that axolotls are an amazing animal. Very cool. I mean, top animal in axolotls? So cute, so adorable, and such a great design. A design of an animal, you know? As if it was drawn by a man with a pen. Number 12 is that the Yeti Cool brothers are inspired by the abominable snowman and are a race of giants. These people are going to be important for the Void Century and the end of One Piece, remember? Number 13 is the more you hold it, the more it grows. Number 14, no, just kidding. Caesar Clown is 40 years old, measures 3.09 meters, and his design is inspired by clown characters from pantomime. Number 14 is that the character of Caesar could reference Joseph Mengele, the Nazi doctor. Nazi, okay? Nazi, just in case, who called himself Uncle Mengele and gave candies to child prisoners. Number 15 is that Caribou's mini-story shows his attempt to take the place of his dead revolutionary grandson, Gaburu. I'm telling you that Gaburu It's going to be important, almost certainly. I mean, that man was a revolutionary. They've put him here in a mini story. That will end up being important. Number 16 is that Caribou develops a respectful relationship with the old woman, which changes his character briefly. Number 17 is that Oda didn't plan for Law to be so important in the story, and it's just that the supernovas were created right before their debut. I'm one of those who thinks they gave Law a D to make him more important personally. Hey, but I love it, you know? Law's character is incredible. Number 18 is that Oda revealed that only one of the supernovas was meant to be very relevant, but he didn't say which one. Well, I think seeing Law's case, I don't think, well, and Bonnie too. Well, all of them are being more or less relevant, although the most relevant has been Law, right? Law doesn't seem like it at the moment, but who knows? I tell you, maybe Oda thought this, and then, while developing the plot, he said, well, I'm gonna do this, and this. I don't know. Number 19 is that Monet was gonna have a robust design similar to Brownbeard in the original sketches. Number 20 is that the animal representing Law is the snow leopard, and his favorite dishes are onigiri and grilled fish. Number 21 is that originally Law was not going to have his famous hat. It was a change added by Oda, and what a good change, right? Very good design. Number 22 is that the tattoos on Law's fingers, which spell death, symbolize his disdain for death after his tragic childhood experience. Number 23 is that on the cover of the manga, Law's hat appears on a child long before he debuted in the series. Number 24. During the saga, Smoker has the hobby of gambling in casinos and Tashigi of reading katana encyclopedias. Number 25 is that Hirabu and Momonosuke are inspired by Japanese film actors from the Edo period. Number 26. The names of Baby 5 and Puffalo do not appear in the presentation frames of the anime, although they do appear in the manga. Number 27. Smoker and Virgo have a fight where Virgo, he uses haki to cover his body completely in black. Number 28. Gazpacho is Caesar Clown's favorite dish. His name is a play on words with his gas ability. Of course, the gazpacho, right? I suppose. Well, I don't remember. Gazpacho is tasty, right? No, I'm not really into having gazpacho, but a little bit, you know? Like, once in a while, it's okay. Number 29. The children that Caesar kidnaps are a nod to the experiments that Joseph Mengele did with children in concentration camps. Number 31. Tashigi admires Kuina, Zoro's childhood friend, and wishes for women to be taken seriously as swordswomen. Number 32. Law and Smoker are forced to temporarily ally in Punk Hazard to fight against Caesar and Virgo. Number 33. The second filler arc in Punk Hazard is the rescue of Caesar, which lasts only 3 episodes, making it one of the shortest arcs in the series. Number 34. The weapon Al Pacino refers to the actor Al Pacino and is a bazooka with the ability to transform into an alpaca. That is historic. Number 35. Law considers medicine as his second vocation and would be a doctor if he were not a pirate. Perhaps now that your crew has been busted, Law, well, you can be a doctor. Number 36. The Punk Hazard saga establishes Luffy's alliance with Law to defeat the Yonkou. Number 37. Law and Luffy finalize their alliance with a handshake that seals their union to overthrow Kaido. And hey, they did it. Number 38. The Yeti Cool brothers were initially designed to look like gorillas carrying canes and were charismatic. Well, I understand that Oda wanted to hide them because, as I say, they are going to be very important to me, and I think few people have remembered these characters. They are considered, and I think they will be very key. Number 39. Law reveals his plan to destroy the Smile Factory, a substance that Doflamingo uses to produce the artificial zone fruits. Number 40. The Yeti Cull brothers are 42.5 centimeters tall, double the height of the average giants from Little Garden. Number 41. The film One Piece Film Z introduced Sanji's Golden Lighter, a collaboration with the French brand St. Dupont. Number 42. The songs from the soundtrack of One Piece Film Z were performed by Avril Lavigne, a big fan of the series. Number 43. In the fight between Zoro and Sanji, Sanji promises to put poison and razors in Zoro's food, something that Pugazard later does. Number 44. Oda creates a 4-page cover showing all the Marine Admirals in their youth to commemorate Film Z. Number 45. In the medical room of the Sunny, Chopper has Sogeking's autograph hanging, his favorite alter ego. I would like Sogeking to return in the manga. Number 46. Fangaman appears in One Piece Film Z, making a cameo in the backgrounds. Number 47. Volume 100 was given out in theaters during the premiere of Film Z, including unpublished details from Z's past. Number 48. The Tokyo Tower temporarily became the Tokyo One Piece Tower, with attractions themed around the series. Number 49. A fan asked Oda what professions the Straw Hats would have in real life. For example, Luffy would be a firefighter and Robin, a flight attendant. Personally, I don't see Luffy as a firefighter. I mean, if my house is burning, I don't want Luffy to come, I'd prefer Jinbei to come, for example. And number 50. In the mini-story, X-Drake takes Caribou after defeating him, bringing him to Kaido's territory, which later, I think they did adapt it in the anime. Thankfully, they don't usually adapt mini-stories. Let's go with the first one, and that is Dressrosa at the time was the longest arc in all of One Piece, since it had 118 episodes and 102 chapters. And also, the most curious thing is that the story happened in less than one day. Dressrosa is complicated in the anime, I know. Next is that Oda was inspired by Spain to design Dressrosa, taking elements from the Alhambra, the Puente Nuevo, and Park Güell. The next is that Fujitora is inspired by the character Zatoichi, a famous blind swordsman in Japan. The fourth is that Fujitora's fruit, the sushi no mi, which is not related to sushi. It comes from the Japanese onomatopoeia for something falling. That's why it's related to gravity. Fifth curiosity, there was an error in the anime translation on a sign where it literally says Uma muchacha del baile instead of Una muchacha del baile. The sixth is that Kiros is quite reminiscent of the little tin soldier toy due to his story and the loss of a leg. Who knows if they were even the same? This obviously I'm saying as a joke in the sense that when someone turned into a toy, everyone forgot their memories. That is, as if Kiros didn't exist. It's a joke. I say this because I made a joke somewhere in the past and people thought I was serious. Obviously, I say it as a joke. I mean, I joked about who was the person who left the sake on Ace's grave and like pretending I don't know what joke, right? Well, there were people who took it seriously and told me, no Zera, it was Sabo. It's a joke, just in case. The seventh is that the Kurita Coliseum is inspired by both the Roman Coliseum and the Las Ventas bull ring. The eighth is that Chinjao's elongated head is based on Fukurokuju, a Japanese god of good fortune, a character who would later appear in Wano, by the way, not as a god, but as a character with an elongated head. The surname of the Funk brothers refers to Dory Funk Jr. and Terry Funk, professional wrestlers. The 10th is that Bartolomeo was originally going to be Ace's rival, according to Oda's initial plans, and this idea would have been very interesting. Number 11 is that in Japan, crossing your fingers is considered an obscene gesture, which influences Bartolomeo's design and rebellious attitude. The 12th is that Bartolomeo represents the obsessive and mocking attitude of some One Piece fans. I quite like that reflection. The first mention of the dwarves, that is, the Tontada, appears in Nolan's flashback, although it was not adapted in the anime. The 14th is that the dwarves of the Tontada tribe live about 150 years and have a culture who values honesty. Number 15 is that Leo is inspired by Isunboshi, a tiny character from Japanese folklore. Number 16, the scene where Doflamingo's subordinates remain silent in an elevator reflects the Japanese habit of not speaking among themselves. Quite a funny scene. Number 17, Giola, a member of the Don Quixote family, has a design inspired by Cubism and Picasso's works. And Viola, be very careful because it has some paintings that, in my opinion, refer to things from the Void Century in Oda's subtle way. Number 18, the name Baby 5 suggests she was the fifth daughter of her mother, who we know did not give her a personalized name. Number 19 is that Buffalo and Baby 5 share a tragic past of abandonment, which strengthens their relationship. Number 20 is that Dillinger is a human-Fishman hybrid, the second mixed race character in the series. Dillinger's character in the series made me so angry. I swear to you, I think it hasn't given me never been so angry at a character, especially in anime. I mean, it made me really angry. I don't know why. Number 21, and it's that Monet and Sugar are sisters, and both were rescued by Doflamingo in difficult circumstances. Number 22 is that Sugar is 22 years old, but her devil fruit stopped her aging, giving her the appearance of a child. This is quite unsettling because it makes Sugar legal, but of course, it doesn't stop being creepy. Next, number 23, the orders that Sugar gives to her toys refer to Isaac's 3 laws of robotics. Number 24, Lao Ji is an elderly fighter who uses a technique inspired by Master Roshi from Dragon Ball. Number 25 is that Mr. Pink is inspired by the character of Mr. Pink from the movie Reservoir Dogs. Number 26 is that the frigate Numancia inspired the name of the Don Quixote pirate's ship, which was Numancia Flamingo. Number 27 is that Rocinante, also known as Corazon, shares the name with Don Quixote's horse. Number 28 is that the relationship between Virgo and Rocinante is inspired by the movie Infernal Affairs. Number 29 is that Rocinante's makeup under the eye is based on the main character from A Clockwork Orange. Number 30 is that Doflamingo is 3.5 meters tall, and his birthday is on the 23rd of October, a couple of days ago. Number 31 is that the design of Doflamingo was more youthful and had a bit of a rapper style, but Oda chose to make him more mature. Number 32 is that the ship of the Don Quixote pirates has engravings that resemble Doflamingo's mark. Number 33 is that Steven Tyler, lead singer of Aerosmith, was the inspiration for Diamante's design. Number 34 is that in his youth, Doflamingo lived a life of luxury, which intensified his resentment after his family's downfall. Number 35 is that Pico was initially designed as an intellectual character with a much slimmer appearance. Number 36 is that Oda used square watermelons as inspiration for the shape of Magmar's shoulders. Number 37 is that Treble formed a gang with Virgo and Pika before joining Doflamingo. Number 38 is that Luffy mentions his Gear 4th for the first time in chapter 783. a number that when reversed is 387, which is exactly where the jersey appears. Number 39 is that Luffy's stance in Gear 4th is based on the Nio Guardian statues from Japan. Number 40 is that a boy's shirt in the Colosseum has a drawing of a nod to Bartholomew Kuma. Number 41 is that the animation of the Haki in Gear 4th was enhanced and changed to red in the anime. Number 42 is that Oda designed a cover in honor of Naruto when the series ended, showing Luffy and Naruto sharing rap. Number 43 is that Sabo is briefly seen in a chapter of the manga in Logtown, suggesting his survival. Number 44 is that in an alternate universe, Oda drew Luffy, Ace, and Sabo as Marines instead of pirates. Number 45 is that in Sabo's special episode, it shows Sabo's perspective of the Dressrosa saga and adapts the mini-story where he leaves the 3 cups at Ace's grave. Number 46 is that Doflamingo and Viola use nicknames for each other, which suggests an intimate relationship that Oda described as for adults. Number 47 is that Oda revealed a sketch of Doflamingo with glasses under his sunglasses, implying that obviously he doesn't want to show his eyes, maybe for something curious? I don't know. Number 48 is that Luffy's Gear 4th is inspired by sumo wrestlers and boxers, showing a stance that combines strength and bounce, which symbolizes his fighting style, more aggressive and strategic. In the New Moon. Number 49 is that in the manga, Luffy uses the guapo during the fight with Chinjao, a technique characteristic of the Marines. Number 50 is that Mon Cheri, at only 20 centimeters tall, is the smallest character in One Piece so far, and those would be the 50 curiosities of Dressrosa, which to me are spectacular. And now we will go with the ones from Zoe. The first is that Zoe is the shortest saga in One Piece with only 35 episodes in the anime, 23 chapters in the manga. The second is that Zunesha, the giant elephant carrying Zu, is over 1,000 years old and is the oldest and tallest creature, standing 35,000 meters tall. The third is that Zunesha is inspired by Salvador Dali's elephants. Their race, Naitani Noida, translates to, it's like a Dali painting, basically Japanese. You know what I mean. Number 4 is that the architecture of Zu is inspired by the palace of Sana Paragaraneung and the Big Dog Peak. Honestly, they give really complicated names. Number 5 is that the Mink tribe was first hinted at in the auction house of the Sabaody archipelago. This is very well done because Oda, already in Seiya, kind of has it all thought out. I like it. The 6th is that Law's crew represents cold climate animals, such as the polar bear Beppo and the penguin Shachi. Number 7 is that Oda revealed Law founded the Heart Pirates after wandering alone and gather Beppo, Shachi, and Penguin. Number 8 is that in the initial sketches, Wanda was going to be a squirrel, and Nekomamushi was going to be a lion. Number 9 is that Chopper shows romantic interest in Milky, a reindeer mink, the first time he falls in love in the series. Number 10 is that Pakam's appearance using his Zoan fruit is inspired by the mythological creature Tarasca. Number 11 is that the Silvermine filler arc connects with One Piece film, Gold, introducing Bill, who has a Typhorn fruit. Number 12 is that Billy is inspired by the vocalist Axl Rose from Guns N' Roses. Number 13 is that another filler arc called Marine Rookies introduces a Marine with a Zoan fruit that affects only his arm. Number 14 is that Oda said in an interview that he watches 3 movies a day, which obviously has influenced his cinematic references in One Piece. Number 15 is that Oda admitted that Sanji's appearance was inspired by Mr. Pink from Reservoir Dogs. Number 16 is that Chopper shares a voice in the anime with Pikachu, which influenced Aqua in their adorable appearance. Well, that and they wanted to sell plush toys, don't kid me. Number 17 is that the Mink tribe maintains a warrior society that includes Inuarashi, the Dog Duke, and Nekomamushi, the Cat Master. Number 18 is that the Mink's Sulong technique transforms them into very powerful beasts when there is a full moon. Number 19 is that Zu has a library with historical records from various eras, suggesting it has unique knowledge about the Void Century. Number 20 is that Oda stated that One Piece would not exist if it weren't for Dragon Ball, as it gave him the drive to create the series. Number 21 is that Zu is one of the few places in the world of One Piece where ships do not arrive conventionally, as it can only be accessed by climbing the elephant. Number 22 is that the Minks are experts in the art of Electro, an ability that combines electricity with combat. Number 23 is that the characters of Zu have demonstrated abilities to heal quickly even in extreme conditions. Number 24 is that Luffy uses the Conqueror's Haki to calm Zunesha, being one of the few moments where his Haki affects such a large creature. Number 25 is that Zunesha committed a great crime in the past and was condemned to wander eternally, according to Momonosuke's words. Number 26 is that Momonosuke has the ability to communicate with Zunesha, something that only a few rare individuals possess. Number 27 is that the inhabitants of Zu celebrate the arrival of the Straw Hats, as they recognize their alliance with the Kozuki clan. Number 28 is that the Zu arc is important because it introduces the samurais of Wano and establishes the alliance between the Straw Hats and the Minks. The number 29 is that Feckin respects Big Mom a lot and mentions that she has a united family, referring to his crew. Number 30 is that Inuarashi and Nekomamushi have a comedic rivalry with deep roots, as they both used to serve Oden Kazuki. Number 31 is that Zoo is one of the few arcs that does not feature traditional antagonists. Its conflict revolves around the survivors. Number 32 is that Law confesses his gratitude to the Straw Hats for their help in defeating Doflamingo and improving his life. Number 33 is that Chopper's medical ability is vital in Zoo, as it helps heal the minks wounded by Jack. Number 34 is that Jack is one of Kaido's subordinates, who quickly attacks Zoo with his fleet of ships. Number 35 is that Zunesha defeats Jack's ships with a blow from its trunk, demonstrating its incredible strength. Number 36 is that the saga presents the concept of the Alliance. Ninja, samurai, mink, pirate to face Kaido. Number 37 is that the minks do not hesitate to sacrifice their lives to protect their allies, highlighting their sense of loyalty. Number 38 is that Inuarashi and Nekomamushi can fight in day and night shifts, ensuring the continuous surveillance of Zoo. Number 39 is that Nekomamushi has scars on his face, the result of his battles with Jack and his men. The 40th is that the minks believe in reincarnation and have a very rich culture in myths and spirituality. The 41st is that the Tree of Zoo, called the Whale's Eye, is a cultural and religious symbol for the minks that to this day we do not know what it means. Number 42 is that the weather in Zoo is extremely variable, experiencing everything from storms to sunny weather in a short time, which is a result of living on a moving elephant. Number 43 is that the ancestors of the minks were warriors, and their warrior culture has been passed down from generation to generation. Number 44 is that Zoo harbors a unique medicinal plant that Chopper uses to help the minks. Number 45 is that Zunesha has witnessed different eras, and its life always serves as a bridge for various historical events in the world of One Piece. Number 46 is that Momonosuke trains in Zoo to develop his skills and become a better leader. Number 47 is that Zoo is one of the few islands in One Piece where peace reigns without the need for a central government. Number 48 is that in Zoo, the name of the emperor is mentioned for the first time, Kaido, who seeks the Kazuki clan. Number 49, the minks and the Kazuki have a relationship of friendship and mutual respect that dates back to previous generations. And number 50 is that the story of Zoo shows that the Straw Hats have different allies from different cultures and abilities in their mission. The first thing is that the Whole Cake Island saga covers from episodes 783 to 891 in the anime, being one of the arcs longest in One Piece. The design of Whole Cake Island is inspired by fairy tales such as Alice in Wonderland and Beauty and the Beast. The third is that Big Mom is 68 years old, measures 880 centimeters, and her birthday is on February 15th. Her design is inspired by the Queen of Hearts from Alice in Wonderland. The fourth is that Sanji's suitcase on the cover of chapter 124 carries the word secret, an omen of his connection with the Vinsbun. The fifth is that Sanji calls himself Mr. Prince in chapter 174, referring to his royal lineage revealed 14 years later. The sixth is that the Vinsman family is inspired by the Power Rangers, with very colorful suits and unique abilities. The seventh is that the Vinsmen are not cyborgs. Their bodies were genetically modified through the lineage factor. The eighth is that Oda gave Sanji several siblings to capture the interest of his daughter, who was a fan of the series. Osamatsu-san. The ninth is that Reiyu, Sanji's sister, is immune to poison thanks to her genetic modification. The 10th is that Chunji, the tallest brother, is 194 centimeters tall and originally had a hairstyle similar to Sanji's. The 11th is that Tamago, Big Mom's ally, ate the Tamatama no Mei, which allows him to regenerate in an infinite cycle of egg, chicken, and rooster. I have many doubts about whether this fruit gives you immortality, or if there's a way to end him. Maybe pulverizing him 100% achieves it. Number 12 is that Capone Beige is inspired by Al Capone and has a design similar to the Godfather. Number 13 is that Baige's bounty is 350 million, and his representative animal is the koala. Number 14 is that in the manga, Beige cuts off animals' heads for fun, a nod to the scene of a horse's head in The Godfather. The 15th is that Morgans is a human who ate the bird fruit model albatross and remains always transformed. The 16th is that Big Mom kidnaps men of different races to have children that represent diversity. Zeus and Prometheus, Big Mom's allies, were going to be called North Wind and have designs simpler. Katakuri is 48 years old and is 5.09 meters tall and was born on a ship along with his two brothers. Katakuri's scar originated when at the age of 3 he stuffed so many donuts into his mouth that his cheeks tore. Quite wild. Number 20 is that Katakuri sleeps sitting, leaning against walls to avoid his back touching the ground. Katakuri's fruit, the Mochi Mochi no Mi, is a Paramecia type, although it was initially going to be a Logia based on flower. That was going to be very interesting. Number 22 is that Katakuri emphasizes that he is superior to Luffy. His bounty poster, 1,057,000,000 berries, surpasses Luffy's. Number 23 is that Flan P, wears inflatable clothing with technology obtained from a country invaded by Big Mom. Number 24 is that Smoothie, daughter of Big Mom, has the Shibo Shibo no Mi, which allows her to squeeze liquids from objects and living beings. Number 25 is that Pedro always carried dynamite, symbolizing his willingness to sacrifice himself for his allies. Thing that. Number 26 is that Sanji in the manga drops his cigarette upon hearing about the Beastmark, symbolizing his return to his traumatic past. Number 27 is that in the initial designs of the Beastmark family, Reiju did not exist. In her place, there was a brother named Goji. Well, better Reiju, to be honest. Number 28 is that the character Prospero, Katakuri's older brother, uses candy as a weapon and creates complex structures with his ability. Number 29 is that Pudding, Big Mom's daughter, has the Memo Memo no Mi, which allows her to manipulate memories. Number 30 is that Pudding's ability was key to erasing the memories of the tea guests after the cake incident. In episode 841, Sanji stops an attack from Big Mom with a kick, but it is not considered violent towards a woman. Katakuri's poster references number 57, implying his superiority over Luffy. 56, which, as you know, 56 is Gomu, and even though he doesn't have the Gomu Gomu, it still represents Luffy that number. Big Mom's giant cake was designed by Sanji along with Chiffon and Pudding. Katakuri considers Flampe a disgrace after discovering her interference in the fight with Luffy. Number 35 is that Oda mentioned that imperfections, like Katakuri's scar, make the characters more interesting. The 36th is that Luffy uses the number 56, Gomu, on various occasions in reference to his fruit. Gomu Gomu no Mi, which later is not the Gomu Gomu, but you get me. Number 37 is that Big Mom's wedding cake has a design inspired by real cakes from the British royal family. In the manga, Jinbe gets slightly burned while saving Brook and Nami. This was removed in the anime. Censorship in the anime altered bloody scenes, like Luffy's injured legs during the battle with Katakuri. Number 40 is that Big Mom recreates a scene from King Kong while destroying a tower during her frenzy. Number 41 is that the chef attacked by Yanji in the manga has much more severe injuries than in the anime. Number 42 is that Bege turns into a full human castle thanks to his Shiro Shiro no Mi. Number 43 is that Morgans is the only one who understands the significance of Luffy after the events of Whole Cake Island. Exclusive of CP0, he infiltrated the underworld and rose in ranks to gather information. Big Mom's tea party was designed to showcase the influence of the emperors in the New World. Number 46 is that Jinbei officially leaves the Sun Pirates and joins the Straw Hat Pirates during this arc, although we later see him officially appear in Wano. Number 47 is that Bege's plan to assassinate Big Mom was inspired by real stories of betrayal in the Mafia. Number 48 is that Luffy defeats Katakuri using his Gear 4th Snake Man, a form that significantly increases his speed. Number 49 is that the arc highlights the importance of food as a key element in the story, from the cake to Katakuri's donuts. Number 50 is that the relationship between Sanji and Pudding, although initially hostile, evolves into one of the most emotional moments of the arc. And these are the 50 curiosities of Whole Cake, and we are going to go with the 50 curiosities of Wano. Number 1 is that Oda confessed he had planned the Wano saga since the first chapter of One Piece. Number 2 is that he received criticism from kimono experts for drawing women with prominent breasts in these garments, which changed his designs in Wano. Number 3 is that Otama, who is 8 years old, has her birthday on the March 3rd, coinciding with the Girls' Festival in Japan. Otama's Kibi Kibi no Mi is inspired by Momotaro, a character from Japanese folklore who used dumplings to control the animals. Bunbun Otama's Tanuki was a teapot that ate the Inu Inu no Mi, Tanuki model based on the Japanese tale Bunbuku Chagama. I don't know if you remember, but at the moment when the supposed Odin appears, which was a drawing made by Kanjuro in the middle of Onigashima, there was a very strong theory that it was this teapot. This is no joke. Number 6 is that Hawkins is inspired by Jim Hawkins, the protagonist of Treasure Island, and Joey Jordison, drummer of Slipknot. Hawkins' birthday, September 9th, coincides with Divination Day in Japan. Kiku reveals to have the heart and mind of a woman. Being one of the first transgender characters in the series, Kaido is inspired by the Oni, creatures from Japanese folklore that symbolize strength and power. Kaido's devil fruit, the Uo Uo no Mi, blue dragon model, is based on the Chinese legend of the koi fish that becomes a dragon. Oda originally planned for Kaido to be the strongest character in the entire series. And almost, Kaido's favorite drink is sake, and his hobby is trying to take his own life. Number 3, Shinobu's design was inspired by the Japanese comedian Naomi Watanabe. Number 14 is that Luffy mentions he wants Wano to be a place where people eat every day, reflecting his hero's justice inspired by Anpanman. Number 15 is that Luffy using a katana in this saga is exclusive to the anime, as it does not happen in the manga. Number 16 is that in the manga, Kaido's first appearance with his current design was a cameo in chapter 693, 102 chapters before his official debut. Number 17 is that Zoro never cleans his sword after his fight with Hawkins in the anime, although he does in the manga. Number 18 is that in the anime, exclusive scenes were added, such as Zoro wandering through the flower capital before being arrested. Number 19 is that Hawkins' cards predicting the future are inspired by Japanese tarot. Number 20 is that Urashima, the sumo wrestler, is a character based on the Japanese tale Urashima Tan. The suspended rooftops in the sumo dojo in the anime become floating kites as a cultural detail. And at the time, I started this channel saying that it was a sign that Shiki would appear, or something like that. Finally, no, although in the OVA, careful. Number 22 is that Cavendish remembers his past, in which his kingdom suffered a crisis because the women did not want to marry anyone other than him. Number 23 is that Bartolomeo promotes Luffy's religion, burns Shanks' flag on an island under his protection. Number 24 is that the Pirates of Orlumbus donate food to a poor island after deciding not to attack it, questioning their concept of being some good pirates. Number 25 is that Orlumbus' daily routine, like hanging his pajamas, was added at the end of his arc as a touch. The 26th is that Kaido's fruit was considered by Oda as an option to be given to one of Zoro's katanas. Number 27 is that the anime censors various scenes from the manga, such as the blood on Luffy's wounds during his fight with Kaido. Number 28 is that Luffy and Kid share a cell in the anime, but they are separated by a wall in the manga. Number 29 is that Zoro struggles to save Tsuru, which is an anime exclusive scene and does not appear in the manga. Number 30 is that Luffy's appearance with a toothpick in his mouth is inspired by Kawagarashi Monjiro, a classic Japanese character. Number 31 is that Speed, a subordinate of Kaido, is defeated by Luffy, who uses her as a means of transportation. Number 32 is that the missing straw hats react to Luffy's confrontation with Kaido in a special illustration by Oda. Number 30. And 33 is that the devil fruits of characters from Wano, like Speed and Bamboo, reflect creatures from Japanese folklore. Number 34 is that Oda enjoyed creating the designs of Wano so much that he extended the saga to introduce more characters. Number 35 is that Oda lies to Ace about his age, saying he is 5 years old instead of 4 to avoid rejection. Number 36 is that the legend of the koi fish turning into a dragon is a metaphor of personal growth and advancement of Kaido. Number 37 is that Hitetsu, the swordsmith of Wano, guards bamboo and several legendary weapons, which belong to the Kozuki clan. Number 38 is that Cavendish's flashback shows that he fled with 500 million berries. And 74? Subordinates to avoid problems in his kingdom. Number 39 is that Bartolomeo's pirates sell stickers of the Mugiwara to finance their adventures. Number 40 is that the dwarves of Drorosa build a special ship for the reconstruction of their kingdom and accompany their king to the Levely. Number 41 is that the introduction of the new alliance of giant countries led by Hadrudin occurs in the mini-stories of this saga. The visual comedy in Wano, like Shinobu's exaggerated expressions, stands out a lot for its influence from Kogugi theater. Number 33 is that the design of Wano combines elements of feudal Japan and a modern stylized structure. Number 44 is that Kaido mentions that Luffy will be a great warrior, highlighting his respect towards opponents. Stronger. Number 45 is that the vibrant colors of the anime in Wano were designed to highlight the cultural contrast with the rest of the world. Number 46 is that Hawkins mentions Luffy has a 19% chance of surviving his confrontation against Kaido. Number 47 is that Luffy evades Kaido in an anime scene that is not present in the manga. Number 48 is that in the anime, the first encounter between Luffy and Kaido shows more blows than what happens in the manga. Number 49 is that Kaido marks the beginning of the relationship between the Straw Hat crew and the samurais of the Hozuki clan. And number 50 is that the idea of a country closed to the world is inspired by Japan's Edo period when the country was isolated, and these would be the 50 curiosities of the Wano arc added to the other 50 from the Whole Cake arc. With this, in today's video, you would have 100 trivia about One Piece, which is now 1,000 trivia about One Piece. Leave me in the comments if there's any trivia that surprised you a lot that you didn't know, leave it here in the comments. I also greatly appreciate a like and a subscription, and I remind you that you have all the parts below in a pinned comment in a playlist in case you want to watch them. Now with nothing more to say, a big greeting, and I'll see you in the next video.